My understanding is that Harry and Meghan are absolutely determined to use whatever time Charles has left on this earth to try to eke out as many advantages for themselves as they can possibly get away with doing, whether on Instagram or on podcasts or anywhere else. It's always to rebut the truth that has leaked out about her and the reality of what she is and what her life is.
Oh, buckle up because the royal teacup is overflowing again, and this time it's scalding. Meghan Markle has reportedly gone absolutely ballistic after Lady Colin Campbell. Yes, that Lady C, the sharp-tongued royal insider who's been dropping bombs on the House of Sussex since day one, just pulled back the velvet curtain on what she calls Meghan's sabotage strategy. And when I tell you this one hit Meghan where it hurts, I mean it sent her PR team into full panic mode faster than you can say Sussex Netflix deal.
What? I mean, I've already said who is supposed to have committed the offence, which was no offence whatsoever. I mean, it is, I'm Jamaican and I come from a multiracial, multicultural society.
According to Lady C, Meghan's entire game plan since stepping into royal life wasn't just about independence or modernizing the monarchy. Oh no, it was about undermining it, and not subtly either. She claims Meghan weaponized charm, victimhood, and the media like chess pieces, systematically turning every royal scandal into an opportunity to build her own brand. And you can practically hear Meghan grinding her teeth from Montecito as Lady C went live on a British morning show and said, "Meghan's strategy is simple. Dismantle the institution that made her, then play the martyr to sell it back to the world."
I said, Dan, that she's like glue on a red carpet.
Yeah.
She just absolutely refuses to budge. It's embarrassing.
Now, that quote alone sent shockwaves across social media, with hashtags like OR, Sabotage strategy, and Lady C tells trending within hours. Even royal watchers, the ones who used to tread carefully, were suddenly letting loose, dissecting every move Meghan had made since 2018, like detectives solving a high-profile crime scene. And here's where it gets juicy. Lady C didn't stop at broad accusations. She went specific, talking about how Meghan allegedly tried to outshine and outrank every senior royal woman from the moment she walked into Kensington Palace. That famous story about Meghan refusing to curtsy properly to the Queen? Lady C says that was just the beginning, and according to her, Meghan viewed the monarchy less as a family and more as a corporate ladder she was determined to climb, or rather, knock over.
To have done what she's done has raised questions in certain quarters. Is she evil? Is she a monster?
Lady C described it perfectly. Meghan wasn't joining the monarchy. She was auditioning to rewrite it with herself as the star. Ouch, that one hurt. And here's the thing. Lady C isn't some random gossip blogger. This is a woman who's been around the royal block for decades, having written books on Diana, Charles, and even the Queen Mother. She's been both feared and respected in royal circles for her brutal honesty and impeccable connections. So when she says Meghan has been pulling strings behind the scenes, people listen. And apparently, Meghan has been listening too, and not in a good way. Sources close to the Sussex camp claim Meghan was deeply distressed and furious beyond words after hearing Lady C's comments, with one insider saying she called her PR strategist immediately, demanding a plan to control the narrative before it got out of hand. But the thing is, it already had.
There will be no King Henry IX or Queen Meghan at all. There will be none. I would bank on the fact that if that were a possibility, they would actually either have a republic. I certainly would be in favor of a republic rather than having those two jerks on the throne.
Because after Lady Colin Campbell's scathing comments hit every British tabloid, podcast, and YouTube breakdown on the planet, Meghan didn't just sit in Montecito sipping tea and pretending nothing happened. Oh no, insiders say she lost it. One source close to the Sussexes told a U.S. outlet that Meghan was utterly blindsided by Lady C's televised tirade and allegedly screamed, "Why are these people still obsessed with me?" While pacing her Montecito living room and what Meghan calls obsession, others call accountability.
Tempt for him and has made it obvious, and he basically feels that he was promised great success. She promised him that she and he would be able to supplant William and Catherine in the public eye.
See, Lady C's revelation didn't come out of nowhere. It landed just days after whispers that Meghan had been pushing to relaunch herself with yet another global humanitarian campaign. One meant to rebrand her image after the Archwell audio disaster and the Netflix as Ever wine flop. She was planning a comeback, and suddenly Lady C strolls in like a thunderstorm, calling her out as a manipulative operator who uses charity as camouflage. And that's the part that really stung Meghan, because that humanitarian label is her last golden ticket. And without it, the whole brand, the Duchess of Compassion, the modern Diana image, collapses. Lady C hit right at the foundation of Meghan's carefully crafted empire. And let's talk about timing, because Lady C knows what she's doing. She dropped this expose right as Meghan was preparing for her rumored new TV appearance. A major sit-down that insiders say was supposed to be her image reset moment. But good luck resetting anything when one of Britain's most notorious truth-tellers just accused you of sabotaging the monarchy for fame. People are calling this Lady C's final blow, but honestly, it feels more like round one of a new royal war, and Meghan's not taking it quietly. Reports from Montecito suggest that she's already instructing her lawyers to explore defamation options. Though royal experts say that's a losing battle, with one commentator joking, "You can't sue someone for describing your PR tactics if everyone's been watching them for years." But there's something deeper going on here, something that even Lady C hinted at. She claims Meghan's so-called sabotage strategy didn't just affect the palace. It wrecked Harry, isolating him from the one institution that gave him purpose, making him turn against his family, and now he's a man adrift. And whether you like Lady C or not, it's hard to deny that image. Harry, once the cheeky prince adored by the British public, now looks hollow-eyed and restless. And every time he comes back to the UK, it's awkward. Every event he attends alone, it's uncomfortable. And even the public's sympathy is drying up, as if Meghan's war on the palace ended up taking Harry's spirit as collateral damage. Meanwhile, Lady C's words have reignited the debate about Meghan's influence over him. Did she really lead him astray, or was he already looking for an escape? It's the question that's haunted royal watchers for years, and Lady C just poured gasoline on it, and make no mistake, Lady Colin Campbell isn't afraid of backlash. She's faced down palace aides, TV producers, and even death threats in her time, but this was a surgical strike. She called Meghan's brand the most self-serving moral crusade in modern celebrity history, then smirked and said, "The only thing Meghan Markle has ever saved is her own reputation, and even that's slipping away." And you could feel the temperature drop after that one. Even royal correspondents were stunned, some calling it the boldest public takedown since Piers Morgan's exit rant, while others said Lady C simply voiced what Buckingham Palace can't say aloud. Because let's face it, while the royals are sworn to silence, Lady C is their unofficial attack dog, saying the things the Windsors wish they could. As of now, Meghan's damage control machine is working overtime. Sources say she's been on multiple calls with her US publicists, brainstorming ways to pivot the narrative, with some saying she's considering another emotional podcast appearance, and others claiming she's been quietly contacting old allies in Hollywood to vouch for her humanitarian authenticity. But the truth is, Lady C's words have already spread like wildfire, and no PR statement can unring that bell. The real question now is, will this finally be the scandal that Meghan can't spin? Because for the first time in a long time, the narrative isn't about Meghan versus the monarchy. It's about Meghan versus her own image, and that's a fight even she might not win. And if the first half of this royal storm was Lady C lighting the match, the second half is Meghan Markle watching the whole thing go up in flames.
So there's that going on. But Harry is genuinely paranoid.
Because once Lady C opened the floodgates, every royal expert and commentator with a microphone started connecting dots that Meghan probably wished had stayed buried. Remember how Meghan claimed she wanted peace and privacy? Lady C said that's the irony. She spent more time in front of a camera than any other royal in history, and her strategy isn't privacy, it's publicity wrapped in victimhood. And that's exactly what stuck with people, because whether it's the Netflix documentary, the Oprah sit-down, or that awkward car crash podcast debut, Meghan's suffering always seems to arrive with a camera crew, a product launch, or a PR opportunity attached. Now, according to royal insiders, Buckingham Palace is quietly pleased with Lady C's perfect timing. with one aide reportedly joking that Lady C did more for royal reputation in one interview than the entire PR team managed in 5 years, and they're not wrong. For once, the public sympathy wasn't with Meghan. It was with the institution she spent years dragging, and even King Charles, who's been maintaining that dignified silence he's famous for, was said to be quietly nodding along after hearing Lady C's broadcast. As one palace source put it, Lady C said what needed to be said, and she did it without breaking a single royal rule.
Podcast to her relatively new and very good friend, Jamie Kern Lima, who created a cosmetics line.
Meanwhile, Harry's in a tailspin, with reports from inside Montecito claiming he's caught in the crossfire again, stuck between defending his wife and realizing the cracks in her strategy are starting to show. And he's reportedly been trying to reach out to old friends in the UK, but many of them, especially his former military mates, have gone completely silent, as if the bridge back home isn't just burned. It's buried, and Lady C hinted at that too, saying in one brutal follow-up interview, Harry is no longer the rebel prince. He's the puppet prince dancing to a Californian tune, a line that went viral instantly and painfully rings true because when you look at old clips of Harry, laughing with veterans and cracking jokes at royal events, he now appears drained and detached, like a man who woke up one day and realized his rebellion cost him everything that ever grounded him. But here's the twist. Lady C didn't just attack Meghan personally. She laid out what she called a 4-step sabotage strategy so specific it sent royal watchers into overdrive. With step 1 being isolation, separating Harry from his old world. Friends, staff, and most importantly, family. Step 2, infiltration, using the royal platform to gain global attention and credibility. Step 3, manipulation, weaponizing public sympathy through selective leaks, emotional interviews, and carefully curated victimhood. And the final step, detonation, the big royal exit paired with explosive accusations designed to destroy the palace's credibility and position Meghan as the ultimate survivor. And when Lady C laid this out, people were stunned. Not just because it sounded diabolically detailed, but because it lined up almost perfectly with the actual timeline of events. From that first Oprah bombshell to the Netflix docuseries to the never-ending public feuds, all fitting the script. And as Meghan's name trended worldwide for all the wrong reasons, her team tried damage control in every direction, telling a few loyal journalists to reframe the Lady C story as another smear campaign by royal traditionalists. But that move backfired spectacularly because when people looked at Lady Colin Campbell, a woman who's never minced her words, even about the palace itself, it was hard to label her anyone's puppet, with one royal commentator joking, Lady C is more likely to bite the king than work for him. And still, Meghan's reaction was reportedly nuclear. According to one California insider, she ordered her lawyers to look into potential defamation claims, though she was warned that suing Lady C would only amplify the accusations and make the sabotage strategy theory headline news for weeks. So instead, she tried the oldest Hollywood trick in the book, the distraction drop, with reports suddenly circulating about a major humanitarian project in the works, involving women's empowerment and global leadership. But the internet wasn't buying it because every time the Sussex PR machine tried to pivot, Lady C's quotes kept resurfacing. Screenshots, clips, memes, you name it, with the phrase, "She leaks like a sieve," becoming a punchline across Twitter and TikTok. And even Meghan's supporters were quietly admitting that this time her usual defense tactics weren't landing. Perhaps the cruelest irony is that for all her talk about authentic storytelling, Meghan's carefully constructed public image is now being dismantled by one of the most authentic voices in royal commentary, Lady Colin Campbell herself, and by the end of the week, even US talk shows were picking up the story, with a panel on The View noting how Meghan's PR team can't seem to stop the bleeding. British tabloids running headlines like Lady C outsmarts the Duchess and sabotage backfires in Montecito. And as for Lady C, she's completely unbothered, laughing when asked if she regretted stirring up such a storm, saying, "My dear, I didn't stir it. I simply opened the lid and let the truth breathe." Mic drop. The fallout might be the worst Meghan has faced since the Spotify debacle because unlike an endorsement or a canceled deal, this hits her credibility. Her brand was built on compassion, empowerment, and honesty, and now Lady C has painted her as the ultimate manipulator, and no rebrand can easily erase that. Royal insiders say the palace is staying publicly silent, but privately, there's relief. For once, they don't have to lift a finger, as Meghan's empire of self-made controversy starts to wobble. Not because of the firm, not because of tabloid lies, but because people like Lady Colin Campbell are finally calling her out with precision and confidence. And that's the thing about Meghan. For years, she's been able to spin stories, shift blame, and control her own narrative. But this one's different because you can't spin someone who knows the royal playbook better than most insiders. You can't silence someone who's not afraid of lawyers, headlines, or backlash. And so as Meghan sits in her Montecito mansion, reportedly fuming over every article and tweet, Lady C's words echo across the internet like a royal gong. You can't sabotage the monarchy and then cry victim when the crown fights back. And whether Meghan likes it or not, that's exactly what's happening now. Because for the first time in a long time, the crown didn't need to say a word. Someone else did the talking. And that, my friends, is the kind of royal reckoning no amount of PR spin can contain.